Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to those of you who join us in person and those of you joining us online today. I am so delighted to welcome you to an in-person event. My name is Christine Grenier. I'm the Senior Director of First Year and International Admission, and this is one of my favorite events of the year. It means so much for us to be able to meet you through your videos and then to be able to meet you through your group work and in person. So thank you so much for everything that you have done to get ready for today and for being here and interacting with each other. Those of you in your groups, you are sitting next to some of your new best friends probably for the next 4 years. So get to know them well. They'll be your first connections to campus, and we'll get you connected on and on after that. So I'd like to get started by introducing our president, Dr. Troy Van Aken, to welcome you. He too is a first-generation student, and you'll see him around campus. He's not a stranger. He's often sitting with students, hanging around, chatting with people, so you'll get to know him pretty well. Dr. Van Aken?
Well, what a nice looking group, and it's great also to see you in person, or if we're seeing you online, that's great as well. You'll notice a number of us are wearing these I am first little badges on us, and that means that we may work here, but we were a first generation college graduate. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story, and I'll tell you a little bit about my wife's. We met at an institution not all that different from Elmhurst. She's a first-generation student as well. Her grandmother was born in Cuba. Her grandfather was born in Puerto Rico. And so we literally are living the American dream. And what I would just ask you to do today is I'd ask you, of course you're here, you're excited about your presentation, you're excited about your interview. You hope that you may win a full tuition scholarship or room and board or all those things, and that's wonderful. But I would really like you to be thinking about today, what a college education will mean for you, because I know it can transform your life. I've lived that experience. But what it'll also mean for your family and those individuals that came before you. And so parents that are here, I see a handful of parents here, congratulations on having your son or daughter get to this particular point. We don't accept students that aren't really capable here at Elmhurst. And so, you had something to do with that, and so you should feel good and satisfied as well. But please, just enjoy this experience. Kind of be thinking about where you might be 4 or 5 years from now and how that would set the trajectory for your life in a real positive direction. And so it's my pleasure now to introduce, am I introducing you, Megan? Or I'm Megan Waja, then, who's going to introduce the student who's our speaker.
All right. Thank you, President Van Aken. I am so excited that you are all here today. My name is Megan Wada, Associate Director of First Year Admission, and I am honored to introduce our first-generation college student speaker. Alyssa De Jesus is a current senior at Elmhurst, and I will now turn it over to her to share about her amazing Elmhurst experience. Alyssa?
Thank you, Megan. Hi, everyone. I hope you are all as excited as I am to be here today. My name is Alyssa De Jesus, and I am a current first-generation college senior here at Elmhurst University. Back in 2018, I was sitting exactly where you are today, in the running for this American Dream Fellowship Award Scholarship Competition. Fast forward 4 years, and I'm honored to be your keynote speaker for the day, and I'm so excited to share my story with you. Growing up, I have always had big dreams when it came to my future. Since a very young age, I knew I wanted to go to college to further my academic career. It was not until I was in high school that I realized neither of my parents have a bachelor's degree or had that college experience that everyone seemed to be talking about. It was never really a setback for me until I was applying for college my senior year of high school. Being the oldest sibling in my family, I was clueless when it came to knowing what colleges to look for or what colleges were looking for when it came to grades, test scores, and essays. My parents and I had no idea how much money everything would cost, if living on campus somewhere was worth it, and overall, we just had no idea where to begin. All I knew for sure was that I wanted to be the first in my family to pave the way, to do something different, and to go to college. With the love and support from my family, I knew I would be able to figure it out. After months of Googling any questions I had, watching how-to college edition YouTube videos, and asking friends about what colleges they were looking into, I finally stumbled across this small liberal arts school once known as Elmhurst College. If it wasn't for my best friend's sister being an Elmhurst College alumni, I would have never came across this school. So I'm very grateful for my friends' resources. At that point in my college career, I was about to graduate from high school and still did not commit to any college or university, so the pressure was on. I was between a college in downtown Chicago and Elmhurst College, and it was actually not until I came to this scholarship competition back in February of 2018 that my mom looked at me and said, "Alyssa, you're going here." And thank gosh I had the same thought. We instantly fell in love with the beautiful campus, and all I could remember was how welcoming and excited everyone seemed to be. I remember walking into this scholarship competition with my mom, so nervous because we both had no idea what to expect. At this point, we had only been to one other college visit in the city, so the Elmhurst vibe was very different in the best way possible. I instantly felt safe, comfortable, and wanted here. For me to walk through these chapel doors and see a room filled with a bunch of students that looked just like me, first-generation college students, I felt like I was not alone. It was such an empowering experience to sit in the chapel pews just like you are today, waiting for this scholarship competition to begin. I was just as nervous but as hopeful as you might be. Throughout the scholarship competition, I was able to learn more about the school, hear powerful speeches from our president, all while making connections with possible future Blue Jays. They announced the winners of the scholarship competition, and although I did not win one of the main scholarships, I was still very honored to receive the prize of the American Dream Fellowship Grant. I was so proud of my peers who did win, and was lucky enough to have some classes with them throughout my 4 years at Elmhurst. I was so proud of knowing that this school was so supportive to first-generation students and really appreciated the hope and opportunity this scholarship competition gave me. I knew that when I would commit to Elmhurst College, I would feel safe to live on campus and be here without my family because they had already set a foundation for first-generation students to have resources so that we don't feel so alone. If it was not for that day, back in February of 2018, I might not have committed to Elmhurst College, and I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Looking back at my time at Elmhurst, I am so lucky that I persevered throughout the 4 years. I was lucky enough to have the support from my family to live on campus and get that true college experience I talked about before. I get chills when I think about all that I have accomplished, especially knowing that I am the first in my family to do so. My freshman year, I made the Elmhurst College Poms team, and I'm still dancing with that amazing group of girls ever since. My freshman year, I also did something no one in my family has ever done before, which was join a sorority. My sophomore year, I had lots of chances to have leadership opportunities within that sorority, and I was elected chapter president, being the youngest chapter president my sorority has ever had. My sophomore year, I also got the opportunity of holding the position as an orientation student leader, where I was able to welcome all the incoming students coming to Elmhurst. My junior year, I helped start an organization up on campus called Elmhurst Minoritized and Allies, where I held the position as the marketing chair. My junior year, I also got promoted from being an orientation student leader to being an orientation student leader coordinator, where with help, I was able to plan and lead the orientation program my senior year. And finally, my senior year, I received the great opportunity to hold an internship on campus for the Office of Admissions, where I have really been able to develop in the professional field that I wish to excel in. I did all of this during my 4 years at Elmhurst and held a 3.75 GPA or higher, getting me a spot on the dean's list every year. If I didn't attend a school that takes pride and nurtures first-generation students, I don't know if I would be as successful as I am today. Elmhurst University offers so many different support systems, For example, the dedicated advisors and professors that I've had throughout the years, like Dr. Miller, for example, who provided me with resources that allowed me to open my mind and build upon my career goals, such as getting an internship on campus. Along with that, learning in small class sizes gave me the time and space to truly build connections with my professor and peers. And lastly, through this event alone that I attended 4 years ago, I was able to build connections, friendships, and start my journey in building professional experience that I was always striving for. And now I stand before you as a second semester senior, taking the last few courses needed to earn my bachelor's degree. Without the support from my family, friends, professors, and the Elmhurst community, and without my own strength and willingness to persevere, I do not think I would have accomplished all that I did today. I am so thankful for my time at Elmhurst, and I am so proud to say that I hope to continue to work in higher education after I graduate. And now, my advice to you all, as Nike would say, is to simply just do it. There is no other way you can accomplish anything if you do not just do it and give it your all. But above all else, you have to believe in yourself and you have to be your own advocate. College years can be hard, but it can also be the best years of your life if you know how to make the most of it. And my wish for you all is that you can look back on your senior year, like I am now, and know that you gave it your all and did your best. I am sending you all positive vibes and the best of luck to you on your college journey. This and will be continued to be my Elmhurst experience. What will be yours? Best of luck to you all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being the most important part of today's American Dream Fellowship competition. My name is Michelle Adams, and I'm the Senior Director of Transfer Admission and Enrollment Partnerships. And I'm up here today to kind of talk through the schedule for the next couple hours of our event. Shortly, the students will be exiting the chapel with their judges to go do their student group projects. Meanwhile, the guests that are joining us today can go to a couple different sessions between 1:45 and 2:45, as your agenda says, both the student resource showcase and the first generation parent panel that takes place here. Once those two are over and we all reconvene, we will be meeting in here around 3 o'clock for not only, sorry, I lost my spot here a little bit, for the first generation student panel, followed by the award ceremony at 3:45, which will include not only another presentation from Dr. Troy Van Aken, but also all of the award recipients will be announced live right here. Please refer to your agenda throughout the day, or feel free to ask any of the staff members if you have any questions at all about where to be next or what your location or timeframes are. As for me, in case any of you were wondering, once I get all of you on your way, I actually have my own mission taking part later on today. And here's just a little hint to keep you on your toes in terms of things to maybe keep an eye out for later on today. But okay, enough about me. You guys ready to do this? Everybody ready? All right, here we go. For our students participating in the virtual group project, at this time, please return to the landing page and choose the link for Student Group Project Zoom link. As for all of our virtual guests, you can also go back to the landing page and join in any of the guest sessions taking place at this time. All right, for those of you here, starting with group number 16 in the back, I'd like you to exit the chapel one row at a time with your judges. And we're just going to keep going. I'm not going to count backwards all the way from 16 to 1 because I think you guys can probably figure this out, right? But just try to keep the groups together one row at a time heading out. And parents and guests can stay put in the chapel for right now. Thank you. Okay, the last group is just about out those back doors. So at this time, I'd like to ask any of the parents or guests to the left of the main aisle here to go with Jenny, who's standing in the back. She's going to walk you over to the parent session. And anybody over on this side, if you guys would like to move up to the front a little bit, the other session's going to take place right here on stage. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Good to see you, parents and support folks, friends, siblings, cousins, all you good people who came out to sit here. This is the resource panel discussion, or as you can see, I have so many student resources here. This is going to be, let's find out what they do really, really fast and pass the microphone, because I think we have 20 minutes before you go to the next panel. So I'm Tim Alberg. I'm Assistant Director of Admission. I work with all the fine arts students here, the ELSA program here. You'll be seeing me say all your students' names in a little while. But I wanted to introduce you to a lot of different folks here to give you a sense of the kind of resources and support your student will get here at Elmhurst University. I'm going to start it off, and I'm worried that once Mark announces all the different jobs he does here, will be done. So this is Mark Molina, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what he does. Mark?
Mark Molina,
You're good.
and I am the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs. I oversee several areas, primarily public safety, student support services, housing, Title IX, and a few other areas, but those are kind of the main areas that I oversee.
Hi, I'm Mary Kay Mulvaney. I'm a professor in the English department, and I direct the honors program here at the college. The honors program is an opportunity for students that are highly motivated and high performing, and we offer some enhanced experiences in the classroom and outside of the classroom, encouraging undergraduate research, study abroad, small seminar-style discussion classes, and it's something that students can be invited to apply to initially. They come in with really strong credentials, or any student can eventually apply if they earn a high enough GPA. But if your student gets an invitation to apply to begin with, I would strongly urge you to encourage them to do that. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Hello, I'm Allison Hostetler. I am the Associate Director of Student Financial Services here at Elmhurst University. So we are all things financial. So if you're looking to make a student payment in order to pay for their tuition or housing costs here, you'd come see us. We also assist students in completion of the FAFSA and any associated missing documentation we can help you with. Any special circumstance issues that you have financially, you can come see us. We also can assist you in applying for scholarships, additional scholarships. So come see us. We're located in Global Hall, and we are here. You can contact us via email. You could give us a call, stop by. We also can schedule meetings for you via online, Zoom as well. So we've been doing a lot of that with what's been going on with the pandemic. So we're here to help you. So please come see us with any questions that you have.
Good afternoon. My name is Marty Gabar. I'm the Executive Director for the Weekend Center for Professional Excellence. That's our career center here at Elmhurst University. So we help students understand what their strengths, skills, and abilities are and what that might mean for them, either for their major or if they choose to switch their major. We help students also prepare for their life after Elmhurst University, and we do that in a number of different ways, including preparing them to learn how to write their cover letters, their resumes, do mock interviews, create connections with employers for either internships or their first job after college. So welcome, and look forward to speaking more with you later.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Santucci. I serve as the Assistant Dean of Students within Student Affairs. So my primary role on campus is to oversee student organizations, campus programming, all the fun events we get to do, so really campus life outside of the classroom. So we get to work with students when they're with their leadership programs, homecoming events, campus activities, just getting them involved. So I get the fun stuff.
Hello, good afternoon everybody. My name is Kevin Krauskopf, Director of Housing and Residence Life. So I oversee all the 6 residence halls, the 2 apartment complexes, and the 14 houses we have available for people to live on campus here. In addition to that, I oversee all the student staff and our professional staff to ensure that your students are having a phenomenal experience, getting connected with their peers in the residence halls, being successful living independently while they're here at college, and just any resource we can be in the moment for them.
Hello, I am Dr. Linda Harrell, and I'm going to say I am 2 for 1 today, the ADS office and the Learning Center. Well, I'm the director of the ADS office, and my job or main responsibility is to work with faculty, students, and staff to ensure that our students receive the accommodations that they are entitled to. So I work across campus with several different departments, especially our housing department, actually quite closely in working through those accommodations, but I also cover classroom and dining accommodations as well. My office is housed in the Learning Center, which provides academic support such as tutoring and academic coaching. We also do academic workshops. So the coaching is for students who may need more of a one-to-one plan to be successful.
Hi, I'm Melissa Newhouse, and I am the director of Study Away. And I should actually say that I am located in the library, in the basement of the library. And you are also located in the library, as is Marty Gabauer with the WCP and Dr. Mulvaney. She's on the 3rd floor. So many of our services are actually in the library. But Study Away is an opportunity for all Elmhurst students. There are short-term opportunities for just a week over spring break, all the way up to a semester or a full academic year. And we actually call it Study Away and not just Study Abroad, because there are domestic opportunities as well.
Hi, my name is Riley Dale. I am currently a junior here at Elmhurst University. I am the president of the Blue Jay First Club on campus, which is a club for first-generation college students, and I hope to be to kind of show what resources you students have on campus outside of academics in clubs and organizations.
Awesome, thanks so much. So now we're going to send the microphone back, and I'm going to give each of you a quick question. This is a lot of different departments here, folks, so if you do have a question and you want to bring the mic and do Phil Donahue and you want to ask him something, we can do that. But I figure we'll do a common question for each person. So starting with Riley, what are some of the cool things that oh, sorry, she's supposed to send it back, question at a time. So Riley, if you could tell us a little bit about what that club does. What's your favorite thing? What's one of you guys do a preamble program still, that kind of stuff?
So the Blue Jay First Club is fairly new. It came out of the Blue Jay First program, which has been going on for a couple years. The Blue Jay First program is offered to first years and transfer students, and it is a program that happens the fall semester of your first year, and you get to attend academic lectures, and you get to go to workshops, and you are paired with a mentor that you check in with throughout your first semester to make sure things are all going well. And then after a few years of that, we got together and decided that we wanted to have an organization that first-gen students could have throughout all 4 years. So hence the Blue Jay First Club now, which I said is fairly new. But so far this semester, we've kind of been aiming towards having a lot of social events and just getting to know each other. We recently had a guest speaker talk about her own first-gen experience and how she got to where she is today. We hope to have a panel of alumni come and have a Q&A session with them. And honestly, I kind of just hope that all our students just have like a place where they feel the most comfortable with each other. And yeah.
Awesome. And it's one of 70 club and organizations we currently have on campus. I'm sure those folks in that group could also help interface with some of those other clubs. Melissa, hot microphone goes to you. Tell us a little bit about all the different kinds of study away trips. I know there's big ones, short ones, summer ones, J-term ones. What's the best one? What's the most popular one?
Well, I mean, it really depends on what your student is interested in. We have faculty-led opportunities, and those are typically a month long or 20-some days. The students love to travel during J-term because the costs are all included. The tuition fee is included in, if you're a full-time student for spring and fall terms, the J-term tuition is already included, so you just have to pay the program fees. So students really look forward to that. There's also opportunities during summer to travel with faculty. Students really enjoy the long-term opportunities with our partners as well to study away for a full semester. We have partners that have programs all over the world. Students love to travel to New Zealand and Australia because they get to continue to speak English and really focus on really honing their academic skills and having travel experiences. But we also have a lot of Spanish-speaking students as well who might focus on traveling to South America, Latin America, Spain, and continue practicing maybe their academic Spanish skills as well. So there really is no favorite program. It's all what interests the student, and really having a chance to see their major come alive in different contexts. There are just a million opportunities.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job. And one of our missions as a school is to help our students become global citizens. Literally, we do it there. Dr. Harrell, how are you? There's so many things Dr. Harrell and I work together on, so I know a lot about the Learning Center. I always say, you're paying for this now, students, and parents, you're helping your students pay for this, so you should get them into the Learning Center to get tutoring. But can you talk about some of the accommodations you can help our students get?
So, the most common ones, I'll say, are classroom accommodations with extended time on testing in a separate location, being able to audio record lectures, being able to have extended time, possibly depending on the challenges with assignments. Oh man, it's a list. So those are the most common ones though.
Cool, great. And you get a lot of personal attention and help, both from her and the staff in the Learning Center, working with tutors and those kinds of things. And do it, do it, do it. No one told me that when I went to college, so I never went. So I'm telling you to tell your students. Kevin Krautskoff from Housing, what is your biggest Q&A question? What is the thing you get asked the most often about our housing program here? Ooh. Wow. You're on the spot.
Yeah.
Sweat.
I would say when students come to campus, their biggest question is where are they going to live in their first year. So we have an all first year hall called Niebuhr Hall. So that's strictly first years. So everybody's new to the college experience there. We also house a lot of our first year students in Schick Hall, and a little bit in Dinkmeyer, and then also in Stanger. Schick is our biggest hall on campus in regard to capacity. And then as folks move along in their college journey, they have the apartments, West Hall houses are more readily available to them. So you kind of get to upgrade as you move throughout your time in college.
And how do students request to get into those residence halls?
Yep. So in the Elmhurst portal, you go to the My Housing app, and there's an application on the top left side. You click the applications link, and there's an application for what years? 2022, 2023, and you fill that out. And once you complete that, if you complete it before May 1st, you're guaranteed housing for next year. And then if at any point you have any questions, you're more than welcome to give us a call or shoot us an email.
Cool, thank you very much. So you've got your residence hall, you're thinking about studying away, you've got your accommodations and your resources and tutoring. What do you do for fun around here, Amanda?
Oh God, what do you not do for fun? Oh no, we truly have so many different opportunities for students to get involved on campus, whether it's student organizations, even just thinking last semester, we had 7 new student organizations created. So if there's something that doesn't exist here, your student can make it exist, which is a really great opportunity. I think one of my favorite things is the student involvement fair every year. So the first week of the semester, both fall and spring, the student organizations get, get the opportunity to showcase their organizations at a fair. And so everyone on campus is invited to check out all the different student organizations that we offer. And I know that's a great way to bring everyone together and kind of have them learn about everything on campus.
Awesome. So, you go to college, you get all this support, you have all this fun, you live on campus. Allegedly, apparently, you should be able to get a job after that's done, don't you think? Is there any resources here to help with that, Marty?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I sort of alluded to when I introduced our center, we do that in a number of different ways. We're broken out really into 4 key areas. So career education, which goes back to those strengths, skills, and abilities I was talking about, and helping students understand what does that mean from a major, what does that mean from a career path perspective, and then where could that lead to them for an internship or a job. And there's actually a wonderful platform that we have called Pathway U that does that all in one fell swoop. It's available online that students can take the assessments, meet with our career advisors, and then that will help them explain, again, what their major career pathways could be, and actually links directly with our job portal, so students can find out what job openings currently exist within those areas. Also within career education is the importance of learning to network and also gaining exposure to people who are doing jobs that students might think they want to do. We have an accredited mentoring program that matches students up with professionals who are currently working in the area that they might be interested in so that they can learn what it takes to be successful in those areas. We also offer job shadowing programs so a student can spend a day or an afternoon with a professional, again, to be able to assess, is this right for me or not? And however they answer that question is 100% okay, because if they find out, you know, this isn't what I wanted it to be or what I thought it would be, great. They can always change whatever their direction might be while they're still here. So that's career education. Career experiences is all about getting those opportunities to find out what it's like to work in the real world. So that means internships. And we have a number of different ways that we connect students with internships, including career fairs. We have our big on-campus career fair next week. We just had our big virtual career fair 2 weeks ago, where there was over 100 employers that interested students could connect with. So that's the area of career experiences. For those of your sons and daughters who might be interested in the health professions or perhaps a career in the legal profession, we also have advisors on hand who are versed in the ways of what students need to be successful to apply into those professional schools upon graduation here. And then finally, we have an entrepreneurship program that started a couple of years ago. It's called the Accelerator program, that allows students who are interested perhaps in either starting their own business or they have an idea for an app that they want to get going. We have an entrepreneur in residence that students can meet with to learn whatever they need to do to get their idea up and off the ground. And then we have successful entrepreneurs come in on a monthly basis to speak with our students who are interested in that. And then we also, on a semesterly basis, do something that's called the Blue Jay competition, which is very similar to the Shark Tank competition. And the winner of our inaugural Shark Tank competition actually got to introduce one of the Shark Tank judges who was here on campus last fall. So kind of a cool thing if you're interested in being an entrepreneur. So those are all the various things that we do.
One or two things. But just as a reminder, first-generation families, I was a first-generation student and nobody ever told me to go ask those kinds of resources. So, you know, drill it into your students' heads. You need to be a self-advocate and ask these fine folks for help. And if you need help with your finances and kind of understanding the complications of FAFSA, is this going to be free? Unfortunately, no. Maybe for one of you, whoever wins, no pressure, little pressure. But the rest of you are going to have to deal with your FAFSAs and financial aid. So is your staff available to help them with those kinds of things?
We are available. So even if you are unable to complete the FAFSA, we can assist you with other options. If you have questions with the FAFSA or you complete the FAFSA and are unsure that you did it correctly, come see us. We can meet you virtually via Zoom. We can have phone appointments with you, or you can stop by anytime. We're not appointment only, so if you wanted to come by, we are here to help. We have several dedicated counselors, and then also we have specialty individuals on the other side of the office, the processing side, where we have a loan and grant coordinator that can help you with more specific information if you have questions about those. Myself, I do the majority of the awarding, so if you ever had any issues, I can always dive in with that. And so we're always here to help you. That's why we're here. So finances can be a big scary thing, especially as a first generation college student, and we are here to walk you through that process step by step. We do it every day, all day, so we are the experts, and we can try to make it as easy as possible for you, walking you through it, because for us it's all old hat, but for you it's brand new, and so we are the resource to help you get through that.
Thank you very much. It's very true. Just understanding the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized loans was a headache for me when I went to school. Now, I spend a lot of time talking about it with my students as well. Mary Kay, the honors program does a lot for our students in terms of support here. There's a really awesome study away opportunity and a community that they can live in, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about those highlights?
Correct. Yeah, some of my honors program students, we have an honors program semester abroad in Liverpool, England. There's a group of them over there right now at Liverpool Hope University. So even despite the pandemic, Melissa and I we work closely on this. We're delighted that we were able to launch a group over there. I'm actually going back in another, I don't know, week or so to meet them for an exploration whirlwind 3 days in London as an extension of their Liverpool experience. But they, and I brought them over originally in the beginning of January. So they're having a wonderful time. I teach one course to them via Zoom, so I see them twice a week online. And then they are taking 3 or 4 other classes over there with, of course, British students and other international students at Liverpool Hope University, which is a beautiful university, in many ways fairly similar to Elmhurst. And as far as living here, for those people that aren't away, the majority, of course, there is an option for honors housing if you wish. It is an option, and we can't unfortunately accommodate all of our students. So it's kind of a first come, first serve application for that. But we have a lovely wing on the second floor of Curitin Hall, which is the one directly across from the library if you parked over on the, what is that, north side of campus. Students can live in one wing with all other honors program students, and their RA is an honors program student, so he or she is very conversant with the offerings of the program, and we have some special events with them. One other thing about the study abroad, I have to say, thanks to very generous donors, external funding, we do have some dedicated study abroad scholarships for honors program students, as well as scholarships for undergraduate research travel. So as students do undergraduate research, if their proposals or research is accepted to be showcased at a national conference, a couple times a year I take groups of students to different parts of the country to present that research, and that's fully funded and paid for them. So.
Awesome. So Mark, a question that I've seen you talk a lot about is, parents are sending their children away for the first time in some cases to this college. How safe are we here, and what kind of things do we do to see to that safety?
Great. So, I'm happy to say that Elmhurst University, situated in Elmhurst, Illinois, is largely a very safe campus. We are careful, especially as we talk about public safety, to always be sure to point out that crime can happen anywhere, anytime, as all of you, I'm sure, are aware. And so here on campus, we work very hard to maintain safety. We do that by employing primarily former, current, or retired law enforcement officers, firefighters, and other people that have worked in public service most of their life. We do that intentionally because we are trying to draw from their training and experience to be able to handle anything that happens here on campus. We are certainly not immune from things happening, and some of the more common things that happen here are pretty low-level things like things being stolen, theft, leaving your cell phone out or your computer or your books out. That happens on every college campus, and it's not the kind of thing where we're seeing this happen every single day, but it does happen. Those are typically crimes of opportunity, and so we really encourage our students, staff, and faculty to make sure that they lock up their items and that to put their things away. Students like to study in very large open areas, and so we encourage them not to leave their items behind as they go use the restroom or grab a bite to eat. And so we're actively trying to educate our community on making sure that we protect ourselves and take natural precautions to prevent anything from happening to us. That said, on a larger scale, we really don't see a lot of crime on campus. We're fortunate to have a great relationship with the Elmhurst Police Department. They're very responsive, and we work in tandem with them as we prepare for larger events on campus. Some of the other things I know that you didn't specifically bring up, Tim, but oftentimes we get asked about parking. And parking is available here on campus. We do know that on certain days, at certain times, parking can be kind of tight, so we really encourage people to think ahead about how much time they leave for travel and for finding parking. Not everybody can park at the front door of their building, and so obviously sometimes you have a little bit of a walk ahead of you when you get here. So if you happen to be a commuter student who's going to be driving to campus on a regular basis, usually give yourself the first 2 weeks of school to kind of figure out your routine and how parking ebbs and flows here on campus. And usually our students are able to figure it out pretty quickly, and they're able to navigate their time appropriately to get to class on time once they get here.
Cool, excellent. I didn't even have to ask about parking. And is there still a rule, I guess this would be for housing and for you, about first years not having cars on campus?
So it's my understanding that, that I'm still right. So if you are a first-year student and you're a resident on campus, you're not allowed to have a vehicle on campus. That's pretty much because we have to limit our parking for residential students to our second, third, and fourth-year students. Obviously, if you're a first-year commuter student, you're driving to and from school every day. There is an application for an exception that you can apply for if you have a hardship. But you would need to provide a substantial reason for hardship that you would need to have a car on campus as a first-year resident student.
Cool, great. Not today, not here today, but we were supposed to have somebody here from our wellness center as well. She wasn't able to make it. So we do have a wellness center on campus, which is staffed by nurse practitioners. So if you fall down and go boom, it is a place you can go get a Band-Aid. We also have counseling services tied to that department that's available to our students as well for mental health. And sharing that same floor is our college chaplain. You'd think this is his house, but this is where he talks. He does have an office. So spiritual, mental, physical healing all happen in the basement of Niebuhr Hall. Folks, do you have any questions you'd like to see answered? We did start a little bit early, so I wasn't sure we'd actually have this benefit. So if anybody would like to put their hand up, I'd be happy to come out and put the microphone in your face and or communicate the question to them. Yes. Do you want to shout it out or bring me the mic? Shout. Do we know?
So I'll answer that. I sit on the COVID-19 task force here, and obviously we have really worked hard to kind of navigate the guidance that we've gotten at the federal, state, and local levels. And frankly, that's kind of been our messaging, is we follow what the guidance is. You know, we are in constant conversations about what the future holds for us, and obviously barring any unanticipated kind of direction changes with what's going on, I do anticipate that we'll start to see our reconsidering the masks. There hasn't been a definite decision made on what that looks like, but I think we can all see around us that we're kind of trending toward getting away from masks, and that decision would be made at this point as we near the end of the, the beginning of the semester for the fall. I think right now we're kind of sitting at a situation where we've decided to maintain the masks until after spring break. That's very strategic because we know that a lot of students are going in many different directions for spring break, and we want to be careful to protect everybody that's coming back to campus. We also know that we have at least a certain number of at-risk population on campus, and so we're constantly kind of balancing, you know, what people want versus what the need is in terms of overall population health here on campus. And so I would say we take it very seriously. We're open to removing our mask mandate if we see that things continue to trend in the right direction. I can't give you a more firm answer on that, but we are talking about it. We have a whole team of about 20 people on campus that meet regularly and discuss these things.
Great. Any other questions? Yes, sir. You want to shout it out or want me to run out?
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to keep answering all the questions here. With regard to parking, yes, there are some exceptions because we know that some of our athletes show up early to campus for practices and things like that before the semester technically officially starts in terms of classes. And so there are some exceptions where certain athletes that are on certain teams can have a waiver put in for them specifically because there's no transportation for them prior to classes starting. So there is the possibility that they could be on that list, and that's usually done by their coach.
Great. Thanks for coming in from out of state. Other questions? Yes. You mean financial resources?
Yes, so there is a need-based, so it's based on the financial aid application, the FAFSA. Depending on the income information that you put on your FAFSA, we can determine your eligibility for what we call need-based aid. So the lower the amount of income on your FAFSA, typically the higher your need is. And we do have a on-campus need-based grant that some students can get based on their FAFSA information. So the first step is to do the FAFSA to see what you're eligible for. And then we will award you or award the student the aid that they're eligible for based on that information. If there's a special circumstance that occurs, like a loss of job or a death of one of the parents or something like that, we can do documentation and we can override the FAFSA information to provide more financial aid for the student based on that information. There is no specific scholarship for multiple students living on campus that we would be able to provide them, but as I said, there is something in a living on campus grant that we can provide based on the information on the FAFSA. So I would say the first step, do the FAFSA, see what is provided. If you need additional funding after that, then you can come see us and we can work through all the options that we have available.
And the legacy wouldn't apply?
Are you having two students living on campus at the same time? Okay. So the legacy is for if they went here before. Yeah.
Right.
So if they're coming at the same time, but there is something that is taken into consideration with the FAFSA. If you have two students in college, you can get more financial aid. So the more students you have in college at the same time, the more financial aid you can possibly get. So that is factored into the FAFSA.
All right. Great question. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's a great question. You want to tell them a little bit about the shuttle bus system?
Sure, so thank you for asking that question. We have something called the Blue Jay Shuttle here on campus. It's currently running this semester, and we look to actually expand it. It's currently running on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where we have set time that the shuttle stands by at the front of the library, and students can go up and show their J-Pass and use that bus. And this is regardless of whether you're a resident or a commuter student, regardless of whether you're, you have your own car or not. Some students might choose to come to campus at 8 in the morning and have classes all day and don't want to give up their parking space. But you can walk over to the Blue Jay Shuttle, show your J-Pass, board the bus, and it'll take you to 4 different locations here in town. We go to the CVS Pharmacy, the Super Walmart, Super Target. Is that Super Target on North Avenue?
The Super Mall.
So then we go to Target, Walmart. I'm going to give up the super stuff. CVS, Target, Walmart, and the Oak Brook Mall, which are all pretty close to here. And so if the bus does a driving circuit, it actually can make it to all those locations within an hour, come back to campus, and then do the circuit again the next hour. So for that reason, the schedule, which is posted online, every hour at the same time, every hour the bus stops in the same location and can pick up students to let them just get to some necessities and get to some places where they can get something to eat or some entertainment or something like that. So it's all free as long as they have their J-Pass. They actually can have a guest ride with them for free as long as we have a student with a J-Pass present with them at the time.
If your students go into Oak Brook a lot, don't give them a credit card. Okay? But it's also, there's a Jewel and a Walgreens within 10-minute walk here of town, too. So if you got some time after the competition, you want to wander into town, since it's kind of nice today, you can see there's a lot right there as well. Great question. Anything else? Yes? Yeah, if she's commuting, you definitely can have the car. Yeah, commuters are driving to campus, but people who live on campus, that's where that rule applies. Good clarification. Cool. Do you want to wrap it up early? Because then we can take our time, we take a break and walk back to the other panel, right? All right. Why don't we wrap it up? The next version of this is going to start, I think at 2:15 is the other panel in Buick Recital Hall. So Christian is going to casually walk you over to there, and we'll see you back here for the award ceremony, and well, actually the 3 o'clock panel for First Gen, I think, right? Cool. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your time. You'll see us again. First panel, I didn't care for it myself. I also didn't see it. So I'm Tim Alberg. I am the Assistant Director of Admission here. I work with all the fine arts students. I work with the ELSA program. You'll be seeing me again a little bit later. But what this panel is our Student Resources panel. So I've got a big collection of awesome people here from all different student service departments on campus. And we're going to tell you a little bit about what each of them do. And if we have time at the end, we'll be able to have a few questions from you all as well. So I'm going to start with Mark Molina. Go ahead, Mark.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Molina. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs. I oversee several different areas that are student-facing. One is public safety, housing, student support services and intervention, Title IX, and a few other areas that basically impact students, including parking and safety and security on campus.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Kay Mulvaney. I'm actually from the academic affairs side of your potential student's life. I'm a professor in the English department, and I direct the honors program, which is a program of enhanced academic opportunities for high-performing students, highly motivated students. And I would, if your students are invited to apply upon admission, I would strongly encourage you to do that. I can talk about some of the special resources we have for them in a bit. And if they're not invited initially, any student can earn their way into the honors program by achieving a high GPA once they're here. And so it is ultimately open to any high-performing student. Thanks for being here.
Hi, I'm Allison Hostetler. I am the Associate Director of Student Financial Services here at Elmhurst University. So we are located just in Goble Hall right over there. We assist students and families with anything financial when it comes to coming to Elmhurst University. So we will help you with your FAFSA. We will help you with completing documentation that we may need from your FAFSA. We can walk you through your award letter. We can help you with applying for scholarships. We can meet you with any questions that you have about setting up a payment plan or why you have certain charges. We are here to help you. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon. My name is Marty Gabar. I'm the Executive Director for the Weekend Center for Professional Excellence, long title for the Career Center here at Elmhurst University. So we help prepare your students to be successful when they leave the campus here. Again, welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Santucci. I serve as the Assistant Dean of Students within Student Affairs. So my primary role on campus is to oversee our student organizations and also campus events. So I get some of the fun things on campus that get students out of their rooms and hanging out and meeting some new faces.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kevin Krauskopf, Director of Housing and Residence Life. So I oversee our residential halls. We have 6 halls, 2 apartment complexes, and 14 houses here on campus. I work closely with our 42 student staff to help create an inclusive, welcoming, and enriching environment for all the students that live on campus with us.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Linda Harrell. I am the Access and Disability Services Director. My job is to work with faculty, students, and staff to ensure that students receive the accommodations that they are entitled to. That could be classroom, housing, and/or dining.
Hello, I'm Melissa Newhouse. I'm the Director of Study Away, and we have a lot of opportunities for students to study away from Elmhurst University. So that is international and domestic opportunities, faculty-led short-term opportunities as short as a week or 10 days, and long-term opportunities for as long as a semester or a full academic year.
Hi, I'm Riley Dale. I am a junior here at Elmhurst. I am currently the president of the Blue Jay First Club, and I'm here to represent how your first-gen students can participate in the Blue Jay First program here on campus.
All right. Well, you just hang on to that microphone right there. Cool. So, not present today, we were also going to have somebody from our wellness center here too. So just so you know, we do have a wellness center. It is staffed by nurse practitioners, so if your student gets hurt or injured, there's somewhere to go during business hours. They also have our counseling services center attached to that department, and they're in the same floor with our chaplains. So I always say spiritual, mental, physical healing are all available in the basement of the Niebuhr Center. But Riley, since you're our student representative here, you're representing this Blue Jay First organization, which I think is a really good club, especially for our students here. Can you talk a little bit about the kind of fun things you all do in your org?
Yeah, so just to explain the difference between what I'm going to talk about, there's the Blue Jay First program and there's the Blue Jay First club. The Blue Jay First program is a program that happens the first couple weeks of your students' fall semester, their first year, or if they're transfer students. They will be placed with a mentor and a student mentor, and they will meet up with them every so often to see how their semester is going, how they're adjusting. They will also attend workshops about, note-taking, organizing their school schedule, things like that. But that only happens your first semester of your first year on campus, and you'll hear more. You'll probably get an email about that for your students to apply sometime during the summer before they start coming to school. The Blue Jay First Club is a 4-year organization on campus for all for freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors to join. We have social events, we have board game nights, we do educational things like we had a guest speaker come talk about her first gen experience. We hope to have alumni come and talk about their own experience and do a Q&A. And it's just a great resource for your students to have to create a community of other first-gen students on campus and have a place where they can come ask questions.
Excellent, thank you. So, Study Away is an attractive part of the college experience. Can you tell us a little bit, Melissa, about the different kinds of Study Away opportunities? And something I didn't ask before is a special question just for you all is this accessible to any family financially? That was my big thing when I was a first-generation student. I didn't think I could afford it.
Yes, absolutely. So I mentioned earlier that there are really two ways to study abroad or study away, and one is through our short-term faculty-led programs, and those are primarily offered during J-term. So if your student studies is a full-time student during fall and spring semesters, the tuition for a J-term study away program is already included. So they just have to pay the programming fees to study away with a faculty leader, and those that really becomes very affordable for students. There are scholarships offered as well, and our students really look forward to those opportunities. It's a nice way to have a taste of study away and be able to immerse yourself and have great experiences, but not venture too much out of your comfort zone because you're still with other Elmhurst students and faculty throughout the experience. The other way to do this is to study away with one of our partners for an entire semester or an academic year. And that is actually incredibly affordable because we use what's called a homeschool tuition model, which means that a student chooses from any of our portfolio of partners and programs, and the student just pays their Elmhurst tuition, and then the housing fees charged by the affiliate or partner that they study away with. So it's really neat because the tuition abroad can be $20,000, $25,000, but they get to pay their Elmhurst tuition and have an incredible experience at another outstanding university abroad. So it is very, very affordable. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Dr. Harrell. Dr. Harrell and I work closely together. I work with a lot of students who happen to have differing abilities, and there's all kinds of accommodations and so forth that she can help. But she's also part of a really fantastic department I wanted to tell a little bit more about, the Learning Center. Something I didn't know when I was a first-generation student is that there's places to go to get help on homework or get a new perspective on writing. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the cool things you do with the tutoring program?
Yes. So my office is housed in the Learning Center, which is located in the library. Well, that's our academic support system. So that's where we have our tutoring. Right now, some is in person, some is online, but our tutors have been identified by professors as being the top of the class in their content area, so they recommend them to become tutors. Then we, in the Learning Center, take them through a training program to ensure that they're ready to be able to work with students. And it is a fantastic way of students helping one another to learn. So tutoring is Monday through Friday. The center itself is open Monday through Thursday till 6 and Friday till 4. We have many subjects that students come tutoring for. We also offer academic workshops where we cover test-taking skills, just study skills, anything that the students need. And if they need a little bit more one-on-one, we do provide academic coaching, and that's more for the organizational skills and time management.
Awesome. And as a first-generation student, nobody knocked on my door and told me to go get those services. So I leave it to you, parents, siblings, friends, support people, to tell your students that being a good self-advocate is an important skill to have when you go to school, and ask for help when you need it from folks like her. Thank you. So housing, can you tell us a little bit about all 6 of our residence halls? Which is the best one and which is the one you don't recommend? Let's see if he answers.
Well, the best one is the one that I live in, which is West Hall, because I'm there, obviously. So, but no, we have 6 phenomenal residence halls that are available to all of the residents here. We have a specific first-year hall, Niebuhr Hall, which is close over to the Frick Center, kind of by the library as well. But that's an all first-year hall. And then a lot of our first-year residents also live in Schick Hall, which is our largest hall in relation to capacity, both very vibrant communities. And then oftentimes we do have first years that find themselves living in Dinkmeyer or Stanger Hall. Some of the halls have newer amenities. A lot of those are very popular with our returning students. So as students send in their time here, they often get newer amenities and have access to the apartments, the houses, the suite style living. So a lot of variety and options here on campus.
Awesome. West Hall is the best, though, isn't it?
Of
So
course.
you live in West Hall, let's say. You're getting your academic support from Dr. Harrell. You're dreaming about studying away with Melissa. You're maybe a member of Blue Jay First for one of your clubs, but man, is there a lot of other fun stuff to do here, Amanda?
Too many fun things to count. No, seriously though, we have close to 80, 90 organizations on campus, ranging from academic, professional, honor societies, cultural, religious organizations, sororities, fraternities, service organizations, you name it. Even if we don't have it, your student can create it. Even thinking back to last semester, we had 7 new organizations that were created by students, which was really awesome. We also have different events that you can go to, right? Some student organizations do their own programming, but we also as an institution offer various events that your students can attend, and we encourage them all to attend, whether they're commuters or residents on campus. One of my favorite events has to be the Student Involvement Fair, where the fall and the spring semester, the first week of each semester, all the student organizations get to set up tables and represent themselves to students who are looking to get involved. So make sure you tell your students to come to the Student Involvement Fair on campus in the fall, because we will be out here.
Awesome. So you're going to go to college. You're going to be here for 4 years. You're apparently going to study some kind of subject or another. At the end of that, hopefully, you'll get a job, right? Can you tell us a little bit, Marty, about some of the ways you help provide those resources for our students?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I mentioned the name of our office, right? The Wiegand Center for Professional Excellence. We just call it WCPE for short. We help our students prepare for their lives leaving campus in a number of different ways, and it really shakes out into 4 key areas. The first of which is called career education. So we help students understand what their strengths, skills, and abilities are, and what that might mean for them, either from a major perspective, or let's say your student knows what their major is currently, but will want to switch at some point in time. That's where we can help them understand what might those other potential majors be, and importantly, career pathways. that could lead to from a job perspective once they leave college. We have a wonderful platform actually called Pathway U, which is available online, where students can take assessments, which again identifies their strengths, skills, and abilities, and meeting together with our career advisors, then they can help identify what are some of those majors or career pathways that could be of interest for them. And the wonderful thing about this platform is it links directly actually to our job portal. So from there you can see what opportunities currently exist in the marketplace, and then you can start to see what that might mean from a job perspective. The other thing that we do in that area, I think, which is really, really helpful, is we have an accredited mentoring program. So your student would get linked up with a professional, and they can have conversations with them over the course of a semester or a full year, just to understand what the work world is like. You know, what do they do in their jobs? What do they think you need to be successful in those jobs? So you can get a better understanding of what that might be. The other thing that we do along those lines is job shadowing. So students can go shadow with a professional for a day or a half day and get a sense for what that job might be. And again, however they end up assessing that, you know, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, either way they answer that is fine. Because if they choose, for instance, to say, you know what, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, not what I want to study, that's fine. They can still, while they're in college here, switch that up. And one of the ways that we formalize that is we have a program called First Leap. So that's for freshmen who are going to be sophomores. They can take this program where they can go out and job shadow with individuals, and then they have a reflective element of it, where again, where they can then assess, you know, am I on the right pathway or not? And if not, we're there to help them out. So that's one area, career education. The other is career experiences, which is all about getting that internship while you're here. And we work to connect our students with employers and potential internship opportunities in a number of different ways. But they can take those internship classes and get academic credit for them. And indeed, that is encouraged here at Elmhurst University, because it's a great way for a student to get firsthand work experience while they're here. And employers like it as well, because they can find some talent that they can hopefully then hire on full-time when they're done with college. And the way we connect students with those internship opportunities, entry-level opportunities, are with networking events and with career fairs. We're hosting our career fair here on campus next week. And we just finished another career fair that we did with a consortium where we had over 100 employers for students to be able to network with. Our third area is pre-professional guidance or advising. That's the area for students who might be interested in the health professions or the legal profession. We have advisors on hand who know exactly what you need to do, for instance, if you want to become a doctor or a veterinarian or perhaps a lawyer. And then finally, we have an area called entrepreneurship for those students who are interested in perhaps starting their own business someday, or they have an app idea that they'd like to pursue. The program is called the Accelerator Program. We have an entrepreneur in residence that students can meet with one-on-one, so they could learn about what they need to do to take their idea forward. We have numerous speakers come in over the course of the year, successful entrepreneurs that can share their stories of what it was like for them to take their idea and move it forward. And we also offer what we call our Blue Jay Tank competition, which is similar to the Shark Tank competitions that you've seen on TV. And actually the winner of our inaugural Blue Jay Tank got to introduce one of the actual Shark Tank judges who was here on campus last month speaking with our students. So wonderful programs.
That's amazing. That's a lot of services available to our students here, so I'm pretty excited about that. I wish we could just give this all away for free. Well, to one of you, no pressure. But to the rest of us, understanding the financial aid process is a big thing. As a first-generation student myself, I just really was confused by FAFSA, unsubsidized loans, subsidized loans. What's the difference? Can you tell us a little bit about how you can get help from your department?
Yes, so we are located, as I mentioned, just a couple steps away, really. We can assist students by appointment and parents. We offer Zoom appointments. We also have phone appointments and in-person appointments, but we're not limited to appointment only, so you're always welcome to stop by anytime. We have dedicated advisors to chat with you. If you have any special circumstances that occurred financially in your life since you did your FAFSA or the student did their FAFSA, you're welcome to stop by my office. There's documentation that we can do to see if we can get you more financial aid. We can also assist you with doing the FAFSA itself. So if you are having issues completing your FAFSA, we could set up an appointment, walk through it step by step. If you've completed your FAFSA and you're scared you did it wrong, well, you can come see us and we can check it for you. If you did your FAFSA and we are looking for additional documentation, we can walk you through step by step what that documentation is and what we need from you. And then also, once you get your award letter, if you want to, or the student gets their award letter and you're reviewing it with them, and you have questions about each of the line items, what is a subsidized versus an unsubsidized? What does a scholarship mean? Do I have to maintain full-time status for my grants? You can walk through line by line with that with us, and we can help you with that. So we're here as a resource to you. As Tim mentioned, first-generation students oftentimes are going in blind when it comes to financial aid, and so we are here. We are a resource. Finances do not have to be scary, and we'll try to make it as easy as possible for you and the student.
And your admission counselors will help you too, but I always go to Allison or Kelsey over there or Erica to get help if I don't know. So they're a great resource for us. Dr. Mulvaney, our Smarty Pants honors students get a lot of different kinds of support here. They get a special study away. There's an honors community. Do you want to brag on the different kind of support you do for your students?
Okay, yes, we have some students have some amazing experiences within the program. We have a group of students studying overseas right now. There's an honors program, spring term abroad option in Liverpool, England, at Liverpool Hope University, a beautiful university that's very similar to Elmhurst in many ways. So I have a group of students studying there now. They continue to take a course with me online on British life and culture while they're literally living that experience, but also take courses at the university with of course, British students and other international students. They have a vibrant international program at that university. As far as living opportunities for people here, an option for our students is a very nice wing in Curitan Hall, which is the residence hall that's directly facing the library over near the circle with the fountain. Well, the fountain's not on right now, I guess, but that is an option for honors program students to apply to. We don't have enough spaces for everyone, and many of our students are commuters. There's no obligation to live here at all, but live on campus. But if they want to, they can apply for that too.
Thank you. Mr. Molina, if you could talk a little bit about how safe our campus is, because he's in charge of security, and he very smartly brought up our parking situation. If you could tell us a little more about that too.
Yes, so I'm happy to report that Elmhurst, Illinois is a very safe city, and we're situated certainly right in the heart of Elmhurst. And it's really nice because we have a great relationship with the police department. Although we are a safe community, I will say that we oftentimes find ourselves kind of trying to educate our campus community on really doing the things that are smart in terms of preventing ourselves from being victimized from things. And so the biggest crime, if you will, that happens here on campus is just theft, right? People walk away with items that are left out and about. And so we often are telling people to make sure that they're doing what they need to kind of protect themselves, lock their doors, not leave their stuff out and about. Our students like to use some of our general areas for study, and so we often tell them don't leave your stuff behind when you go use the restroom or get a bite to eat. I wish I could say that we lived in the kinds of community where people are completely trustworthy, but unfortunately sometimes crimes are opportunities and people take advantage of that. But generally speaking, in terms of any serious major violent crimes, we don't face those here on campus, and certainly in the larger community are not very common. I will say that Elmhurst Police patrol this area pretty frequently. We utilize our staff to be we hire educated, retired, current police officers and firefighters who help protect campus. So we utilize their experience and training to make sure that we have the right people doing this type of work here on campus and really making sure our students, above all, are kept safe at all times. Reference parking, I will say that parking is available on campus. We don't allow our first year residential students to bring cars to campus, just frankly because we are very limited on parking, and so we try to make sure that the people that are living on campus, you must be here in your second, third, or fourth year in order to bring a car to campus. Obviously, as a first year commuter, you are allowed to bring a vehicle and come to campus. We have a lot of parking out in our main lots for people to be able to park their vehicles.
Awesome. So we have just a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions they'd like to shout up here for anybody on this panel. Go ahead. Did you say pantries? Food pantries.
So under our student support services and intervention team, we do have, when we have students who are facing some difficulties regarding housing or food, we do have resources available to us. We work very closely with the local the local food pantry. We do have some resources here on campus that allow us to provide either food vouchers or some food for students who are in dire need. But we encourage people to go to our student support services and intervention team with those types of needs, and they work very closely with them to not only get them those services, but also to be discreet about those services as well.
Great question. Anything else?
Just one other kind of support that I think is important to know about is supports for students in regard to purchasing of textbooks, because that can get quite expensive. We do have a growing collection in the library of commonly used textbooks in some areas where there are multiple copies that are there on reserve that students can use for free in the library, but our library is open a lot of hours till late at night and on the weekends, et cetera, or could photocopy some pieces of it if they need it for something. We also have actually small loans available to students with demonstrated need relative to purchasing textbooks or, say, lab materials or other kinds of things they would need.
And then I'd like to add as well, in the WCPE, we have a career closet. So for students who are in need of professional clothing as they prepare for interviews or perhaps for the career fair, they can stop by our office and walk away with a full suit or any other professional clothing that they would want.
Awesome. One more quick question, but we're almost out of time. Weekend hours, can you handle that, Mark?
Yeah, so the Wellness Center is available Monday through Friday with posted hours, and it's usually by appointment. In terms of weekend services, we do offer emergency weekend resources if they're needed, but generally speaking, they don't set up appointments on the weekends for counseling sessions and things of that nature.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take a bit of a break. At 3 p.m. in here is going to be the first generation student panel, when there'll be a different moderator and several of our first gen students, like Riley. In the meantime, downstairs, if you've been down where the restrooms are, there are some refreshments. A lot of our students are already gathered in the lobby out there, so it's going to be a little crowded, but the restrooms are down there. There are some cocoa down there. And thank you, panel, for your generous time today to go through this twice with me. Have a great day, and best of luck, families.
Hi. So really quick, hey, my admissions friends, are we good to get started, or are there more families and guests coming up from upstairs? We are good to go. Wonderful. Okay, hello everybody. It is so exciting to have you all here. So first off, congratulations on your awesomeness for being here. Yes? Yeah. My name is Michelle DeLuca. I go by Frankie here on campus. I am the Associate Dean of Students in Student Affairs and Director of the Niebuhr Center. I am a proud first-gen student as well. I'm also a proud alumni of Elmhurst. The Blue Jay Blue is through me. Me and my younger brother came here, and I just absolutely love this institution. But you don't want to hear from me. So what my job is here is to moderate a fantastic panel of first-gen students here at Elmhurst. And I have some questions ready to go in case this is a shy crowd and you don't have any that you want to ask them. But we're hoping that you do. We have George, who will be running with a microphone. He should be coming out if you do have a question. But to get things started, I'd like to introduce who these fantastic students are. So, students, what I'll be asking, so all of you know what's happening, in your introduction, can you please share your name, the year you're here at Elmhurst, your high school, your hometown, if you're a commuter or resident, your major, and why Elmhurst. And we are going to start with Evan.
Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, that's loud. My name is Evan Caverly. I'm a senior here at Elmhurst. I went to Lowell High School in Lowell, Massachusetts. Anyone here from Massachusetts? Sad. Okay, that's okay. What else do I have to say? I'm so bad.
Okay, we did high school, hometown, commuter, or resident.
Oh, I'm a resident on campus. That commute would be terrible. And
Your major and why Elmhurst.
Oh, I'm a general music major and a dance education minor. And I chose Elmhurst because of this wonderful faculty member who retired my freshman year, Sue Moninger. She was the director of choral activities here for 30 years, and she brought a lot of wonderful humans here. So she's a professor emerita now, which just means she's retired. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Riley Dale. I am currently a junior here. I am an elementary education major. I'm from River Grove, Illinois, so shorter commutes. I went to East Leiden High School. Any people from there? Ooh, yeah, awesome. I commuted my first 2 years, and this is my first year as a resident, so I kind of have both sides of the coin. And I chose Elmhurst because on my first tour here, I just felt really welcomed, and honestly, the tour kind of felt like I was in an animated movie.
Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa DeJesus and I'm a senior here at Elmhurst. I'm from Chicago and I went to Guerin Prep High School. I am a communications major, business administration minor, and I chose Elmhurst because I instantly felt safe and wanted here, so I definitely wanted to stay and experience that. And I have lived on campus for 4 years.
Hi guys, my name is Alexa Nastasi. I am from Salisbury, Maryland, so I went to Parkside High School. I am a resident on campus, obviously. I'm a theater arts education major with minors in English and music, and I chose Elmhurst because of the sense of community and just the welcoming atmosphere here. That was it, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. I'm Ambrosia Itilari. I am a sophomore this year. I'm majoring in biology, and I have a triple minors in business administration, chemistry, and medical humanities. I'm from Chicago, and I originally went to William Fremd High School. Anybody from William Fremd High School? No? Okay, whatever. And additionally, I am a commuter. And why I chose Elmhurst, it was because of the wonderful direct medical program they have here for incoming aspiring physicians, and I just love how the faculty ratio is so small, faculty to student ratio, because you really get to know your professors.
Hi, my name is Andrea Armenta. I am a sophomore. I commute. I'm from South Elgin, Illinois, so I went to South Elgin High School. And let's see. Oh, why I chose Elmhurst, it's because I really wanted to take it. Oh, and my major, sorry. It's communication sciences and disorders, and with a minor in Spanish. So that's why I chose Elmhurst, because I loved that they had a speech clinic on campus, and also I really like how diverse I saw the community here, and it's really small, so it's great to really grow as a leader.
My turn. Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Young Gentry. I am from Forest Park, so I went to Proviso Math and Science Academy. What else we have to say? Oh, I'm a resident on campus, and one of the reasons why I chose Elmhurst was because it feels like its own small town inside of a small town, so it really feels like you're home away from home.
Hi, my name is Jorge Duran. I'm currently a sophomore here on campus. I'm a double major in political science and criminal justice. I am a commuter. I actually went to Addison Trail High School. So anybody from Addison here? All right. Oh, a lot of you.
Nice
All right.
showing.
Nice. And the main reason why I came here at Elmhurst is because of the one-on-one experiences that I've had here with Elmhurst with the professors and how much of a sense of community there is here.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris Perez. I'm currently a junior here at Elmhurst University. I'm currently studying as a secondary English education major, so studying to be a high school teacher. I went to West Leiden High School. Anyone from there? I see you, and you are heard, and you are seen. And yeah, I grew up in Northlake, and I live here on campus. Actually, it's because of the American Dream Scholarship that I'm able to live here on campus. It's part of the reason why I chose Elmhurst as well, for a combination of reasons. Elmhurst, as I think Jordan put it really well, it's a home away from home. And also it's really easy to find your crowd here with all the clubs, organizations we have here. You can put yourself into any place you want to, and you can be and do whatever you want. And there's a lot of freedom in the college experience.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm gonna first open it to the crowd. If anyone has a question they are just so excited to ask already. I got one, all right. George is coming down.
So to the woman who had a triple minor. So I have like a few ideas of like, I already know what I want to major in, but I'm kind of iffy on what I want to minor in. So I was considering doing like a double or triple minor, but my main concern was like how much time I would have to myself and how much vacation time, and like, is it going to be like a lot of classes? Am I going to be stressed out? So it's like, how much like spare time do you have like with a major and a triple minor? Like, do you have time for a job? Do you have time for friends? Like, what's all of that about?
For sure, you have plenty of time for many other things. For example, I'm also doing cancer research on campus. I'm a student ambassador right now. That's my job here on campus. I'm in many clubs as well. You can definitely do a lot even with a triple minor. And also, you don't have to decide right now. You can also wait if you're still unsure if like what minor you want to do. But I gotta say that the advisors here are wonderful. They will make sure that there's a balance on your schedule so you're not feeling overwhelmed and like feeling like there's too much going on at once. Like really, I'm not feeling overwhelmed. The way my advisor has spaced out my schedule has been really nice for me, and like I feel like I'm fine. So I'm pretty sure you'll be fine even with the triple minor.
Okay, got a question down here.
Hi, this is to anyone, but what is your guys' favorite part of being a student at Elmhurst?
Great question. Maybe three of you want to answer that? What is your favorite part about being a student at Elmhurst? Any three? Okay, 1, 2, and then whoever wants to go third.
For me, I think it's a big part of why I love Elmhurst and felt so like welcomed right away is how many opportunities you have to be involved. So since a freshman, I was already in like 3 clubs on a team, you know. So I think throughout the years, you always have different things come up that you can be involved in. Even going to events on campus, it's a nice way to meet people. And overall, I've really appreciated always having something to do and never feeling bored or alone on campus.
If you're anything like me, I really did not vibe with going to a really big school. I went on a tour to like U of I and Northern, and it really overwhelmed me with how big everything was and how like small it made me feel. And then I went on a tour here and I felt like I could actually thrive and get to know my professors, and the idea that I have like 18 people in my classes or less. I've had like really small classes, and I like getting to know the people there and feeling like I'm part of a community.
Yeah, I was going to mention that sense of community that you have on campus. As an out-of-state student, that's something that I was really longing for. And as soon as I got to campus, that was remedied by our orientation program and the closeness that those students showed me. All the OSLs, we call them orientation student leaders, OSLs, and a lot of us on this panel are OSLs. You just find family throughout the orientation progress. So, I mean, yeah, and then once I started getting involved in my classes and getting involved in Greek life and different student organizations, I found a home. My high school was bigger than Elmhurst population-wise, so I was used to a small but big experience, both in one. So I think that's what's great about Elmhurst is that you have to try to not get connected. You will get connected no matter what you do.
Great. Any other questions? Oh, I saw one hand. Okay, you saw it first, George. I saw 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm loving this. Usually I got to do a lot of work here, but today I don't got to do nothing. There's at least 3 on this side, once done. Yep.
Well, this is a question for anyone who's a commuter student. Like, do you guys feel like you're still a good part of the community here, and like Elmhurst provides you with opportunities to be able to engage and be part of the community that you guys keep telling us about?
Great question.
Yeah, so I commute from Addison, so super close by. It's like 10 minutes away. Even with the commute, I spend most of my time here at Elmhurst. I come here early in the morning, probably from 8 to 9 a.m. and stay here until like 9 p.m., just more or less because everything is so close by. If I want to grab dinner or grab lunch, I can just go down to the Roost or down to the cafe that we have here on campus. Or if I don't want to eat here, I can go down to downtown Elmhurst and just grab some like sushi, grab something that's really close by, more or less. And with that as well, you just have so many friends on campus already, getting in that community vibe, getting to know the faculty, getting to know your professors. If you need any questions regarding a class or anything, they will be very accommodating to you. So with that, even as a commuter, I feel very ingrained to the campus. Aside from that, I'm on like 3, 4 different clubs and organizations through Greek Life, through working here on campus with Student Ambassador, being OSL. But yeah, it's very easy to get acclimated and like part of the university itself.
Yes, I commute as well. My commute is about 30 minutes or so, but I also take advantage of my time here on campus. I think it's really valuable to, get here early, and then you feel more productive that way, but you're also really appreciating all the resources that campus has available. Like, I really love to spend my time studying at the library, and I found that there's so many resources there. But I would really encourage like anybody that's thinking of commuting to really take advantage of the time and not just go home after a class, because there's so much to do. Like I said, this campus is really like small, so it's really easy to be involved, have a job on campus, even if 1 or 2 hours, or yeah, just take advantage of the time here. And it's really easy to get involved and like make friends and meet people.
We had, I think, 2 or 3 hands up on this side. There's one over there, and then up front was next. So yeah, right there, George.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to ask, what's your number one favorite memory here at Elmhurst? Like, what's the one memory you look back on and then you think, wow, I love it. I love being here.
Yeah, go ahead. Maybe if 2 or 3 of you want to take that, because I have a feeling all of you have one, but.
Although I'm a freshman here, one of the core memories that I thought was pretty fun was there's a tradition here that at midnight when the snow falls, we have this big snowball fight, and everyone just comes out and just, you really have fun because you may not know who everyone is, but it's like this big old like family out there, if that makes sense. So I think that's one of my favorite memories here.
Since I'm part of the theater department, I think my number one all-time memory was the first production that we did here when I was a freshman, which was Cabaret. It was like my first time like doing theater at a new school, and I met so many wonderful people that I met my best friend through that production, and she's now my roommate, and it was before like everything got shut down as well, so it was pretty much all in person, and that was for sure the best memory that I had here, and it was just at the start of my year, so yeah.
Maybe one more?
First off, that's a really, really good question. I had to think very, very deeply about this. My freshman year, for context, I love video games. And I found a room where people were just playing Smash Brothers, and I kind of just walked in and started playing with them. And I created like a really, really great bond with them. Even so, right now, I run an esports organization now, and I help run it, and it's just grown so much. And I think that core memory of just meeting some random guys who are just playing video games has now spawned into something so much greater than myself, and that's something that I carry very, very deeply with me.
Great. Okay, we had a question up front here. Someone answered it? Okay. Right there, and then over here next, okay?
Yeah, so I had a question for the people who are in the music department. I wonder if what actually led you to going to Elmhurst for music, and what is like the classes in music, like what are they like?
So I just have a music minor. I started as a musical theater major, so I took theory 1 and 2, so that's kind of the only experience I kind of have with music classes. I also took choir as well, but that was just like for fun. But right now I'm in voice lessons, and I really enjoy. I love our music department so much. I can't speak to it like as a major, but as a minor, it's really just, I don't know, it's a great department. I know Evan can say more. So.
Yeah, so I actually started out as a music education major and then decided to switch. Our music education program is a rigorous and diverse program that a lot of people come to Elmhurst for. Are you a singer or instrumentalist? You can just singer? Wonderful. Me too. This place I'm just going to speak on instrumentalists. God bless you. But singers, this is a great place. Our vocal faculty, Google them and look on our page. Their resumes are insane. You don't get you don't get this faculty in many places. We have a very wonderful staff. As for classes, it depends on what major you're thinking of and what direction you want to go in. The music department is a rigorous program, but it's one that is amazing and one that is so fun, especially for vocalists, because we have such amazing professors. And the music department has gone through some changes over the past couple years, and a lot of schools actually looked at Elmhurst for how we handled COVID and how we so safely in the music department handled everything in our very crazy world. But yeah, I would suggest just looking up some of the finer details, so I'm not talking about it for a very long time because I could go on forever, but I will not do that. But yeah, just look it up because it's real great.
We had a question all the way over here.
This was touched upon a little bit, but have any of you ever changed your majors drastically? And if so, did it impact anything, your course to graduate? And if you didn't change your major, did you ever have a second of contemplation where you wanted to change it?
Welcome to college. That happens to every student on a daily basis. Let me just throw that out there.
Has anyone changed their major besides me?
Oh, none of you.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'll be quiet.
I'm impressed.
Oh, sorry.
They came in knowing.
So I came in as a marketing major, and I loved marketing, obviously, so it was a lot of fun. But once I took a communications class, I was so drawn in to communication theory, and I just found it so much more exciting for me, and I really enjoyed the classes a lot more for what I wanted to do with my future. So I met with my advisor, and at this point, I was a second semester sophomore, so I was very nervous. I thought I was going to have to do an extra year or not graduate on time. But thankfully, one thing I think all of us can attest on that Elmhurst is really good at is double dipping courses. So like I take one class and it covers 2 to 3 different requirements, if that makes sense. So I got very lucky that my marketing major ended up double dipping into business administration minor. So I actually dropped marketing, went full-blown communications, had to take those courses, but I still had 2 years to catch up with it, so I was okay. And then that's how I have my business administration minor pretty much completed by my sophomore year, because I just did that little flip-flop, if that makes sense. So I think definitely if you have those moments where you're considering it, you can look on the school website, and they give you the full course breakdown of what classes to take and how that works. And if you also have additional questions, always go to your advisor or your admission counselor if you're still a new student. And I think that can definitely help you kind of navigate what you think would be best for you and to stay on track too.
So when I first applied, I didn't really change my major, but I did do a lot of soul searching, I guess you could say. I wanted to come in as a music education major because, like Evan said, the music department is nuts. They are so good at what they do, and all the students that go through them are just so passionate, so talented. When I was going through the audition process and the application process, I realized that maybe music was something I wanted to keep as a hobby, something that I like to do in my spare time, something to keep me sane. And instead, I still wanted to teach because I love teaching. I love talking, as you can obviously tell, and I love just to help other people. And so I decided to but after some thinking, I decided to go to English, just because writing and reading is something I think that's really important. Have I wanted to change my major at some points? I think that's a definite yes. I think many people that I know have also wanted to change their majors. But again, I think it just takes a lot of thinking. It takes a lot of time to sit down and just to look at the road ahead of you. It takes a lot of time, and I still stick to it because there's a lot of things that I enjoy about my future career.
Great, thank you. More questions? Yeah, there, and then we'll come to you next.
Hello again. I just wanted to ask about when you create a schedule for yourself with your classes, how much how much can you customize that? Like where each class goes, what days you have what class, how early or late you want each class to start, what's that all about?
So I myself, one of my jobs here is actually as a peer advisor. I'm actually one of the people who help you build your schedule, see how it helps with your time frame, your course selection, et cetera. It really depends on your major. So with more specifically the nursing program and the music ed majors, a lot of those classes are very tight knit and very structured in that manner. But let's say if you're going with the political science, criminal justice, like how I am, it's very much very fixable and very flowable in however way you want to schedule it. So with my schedule, actually, for my sophomore year, for the second semester, my first class starts at 11:45. So I have no morning classes. I have nothing that's really crazy in that sense, and it's very aside from the music program and the nursing program, everything else is very easy to manage in that sense.
And as a first-year student, when you first start here, you actually meet with a peer advisor as well, so a current student who's been in that program and familiar with that curriculum, or with a faculty member. And so you are guided. So you do have options where you can choose different classes within the major. Some have different tracks you can take. We have our integrated curriculum, which some may know as like a gen ed program. So that's where you can customize too a little and pick classes in your interest or ones that match your major, or maybe not your major, but you really like art and you're majoring in nursing. Well, we have a fine arts gen ed. But you do have someone that guides you as a first year student, because we feel it's really important as you're navigating and figuring out how classes work and schedules work. There's a lot of flexibility in times. I don't know if you'll get an 11 o'clock class as a first year student, but you will always get the classes that you need. You just may not get the classes that you want, meaning you may only want to take 12 o'clock classes, and not all of them are like that. But you have a really good support system that works out that schedule with you, and specifically as first years. When you're sophomore, junior, seniors, you've kind of figured out the rope, but you still work with your advisor too.
Yeah, and also on that note, if you're in law or going into becoming a physician, pharmacist, or dentist, they have specific special advisors for that. There's a designated health advisor, there's a designated law advisor, and so they can also help you through your four-year track depending on what career you're interested in. So definitely it's very nice how you can plan your classes and stuff. Additionally, like I do have some friends who they are working on Tuesdays and Thursdays part-time jobs, and they just prefer not to have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sometimes your schedule works out where you can have just Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, so you have your Tuesday and Thursday as a break. But it all depends on like how many faculty are teaching that course, and if they're doing a Tuesday, Thursday, or if they're just doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
The question.
Can I quickly?
Go ahead, go.
I just wanted to say, because right now I have my Tuesdays and Thursdays off, and I work both days, but it's kind of like a sacrifice. Like I have an 8 a.m. class to make up for me not taking a class on Tuesday or Thursday. So it's really customizable, but sometimes you have to have that 8 a.m. if you want the free days. So.
Great point. George, we had this student right over here, and then we'll go over to you next after the student.
Hello, everyone. My question is for the former Addison Charles student and for Alyssa. So, as first-generation students, how has Elmhurst University helped you develop your academic and personal career through the past years?
Great question.
So with political science and criminal justice, I actually just came in as a political science major, strictly that. And going through my first year, meeting more of the faculty, I kind of more developed in the interest of criminal justice in that sense. And with that, I was able to add that double major because a lot of the classes overlapped in that sense. A lot of the classes double dipped into certain tags, so that's why it was very manageable for me to become a double major in that sense. And with that, actually, I was able to talk with head of public safety here, Mark Molina, and he was able to, or has offered me a couple of internships regarding with shadowing a criminal justice analysis. And so there's so many opportunities just by talking to your professors, talking to faculty on here, and they are your resource in that sense. It's very helpful in the sense that it's very one-on-one here on campus. So talking to your professors, faculty, that's the best options you can go with that to further yourself.
And going off of that, for me, similar, like talking to your advisors totally is a big help. But also what really helped me was getting a job on campus. So as a freshman, I got a job at the Office of the Institutional Advancement, which is right over there. And there I had to learn like more professional work lingo. I was only 18, but I still had to come dressing up professionally. I had to look and present myself and know how to work with people who were older than me. And I think that really helped me mature faster in the professional world. And then as a senior, when I got my internship for the Office of Admissions, that's totally in a whole other way have really shaped me as, I think, a speaker, as a leader, as someone who, you know, at that point I know all about Elmhurst. So when I'm learning about the admissions process and all that fun stuff and events and everything, I think that really helped me really get a good idea of what I want to do after graduation. And if it wasn't for that internship, I wouldn't have maybe not have found a love for higher education and wanting to continue to work in higher ed. So definitely take advantage of all of those. Eventually, as you hopefully become Elmhurst students, you'll get emails of different career festivals happening on campus, of different internships going on campus and off campus, as well as many job opportunities for students. So totally, to get your foot in that door, I totally recommend you guys to all take advantage of that and just see what happens. Because the worst that can happen is you don't like it and you can find a new route, but at least you tried and got that experience already.
I think it was back there. There's a hand up over, yep.
Hi, I was just curious, have any of you have studied abroad?
Yeah, so I studied abroad in the UK, my freshman year actually. It was second semester, so that was from January to March, and then COVID happened, and then that was a whole debacle. And what happened was, I think I matured so much during that time. The whole experience of traveling abroad, as cliche as it sounds, you do come back a different person. You come back learning a lot more about yourself, learning a lot more about the world, and how I've met so many people of different worldviews that's like, I feel like I've traveled even farther without even leaving the country. Speaking of leaving the country, you can actually go to different countries while you're there. I also went to Wales, I went to Northern Ireland, really great experience. If you would like to study abroad, I definitely recommend it. I did this study abroad through the honors program to Liverpool. So I definitely recommend that if you are interested in the honors program and would like to do that, I 100% support you in that decision. With this study abroad, the scholarships and the grants that I have actually went to, they transferred over to the study abroad experience. So not only did I go to a different country, I went to a different school for the same price as going here to Elmhurst. In fact, it was a little bit cheaper just because the tuition was slightly lower, so I had some, I think maybe a couple $100 just so I can keep and save during that time. Because it's very expensive to go out, I learned how to cook as well. So, and now I'm making meals for my family. So you learn a lot of skills. And that I also should add that the study abroad experience doesn't have to coincide with your major. I know someone who is a computer science major who actually went to the Bahamas on a marine biology trip. So definitely, I recommend that you look more into that because it's a very great experience.
More, okay, see back there, and then we'll come back.
Oh, just really quick, like there are so many study abroad options. They recently, during our January term, they went to Greece, and they traveled around to Athens and other regions in it. And then they also have Spain as an option. So there's a lot. There's a specific like app on our Elmhurst page specifically showing like what foreign exchange study abroads are currently happening at the moment, and prepares you for like what's happening this semester or next year, what's happening over the summer, and etc. So there's definitely plenty of options if you're interested in that.
What does getting a job on campus look like, and like what's a day in the life?
Well, I currently work at the library on campus, and like I said, I work Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's pretty easy. Kind of just go in at your time, you clock in, and for me at least, I work at the front desk, so you go through training, which is paid training, so definitely a plus. And I just I check in students, I count how many come in, I answer any questions, help with the printer, anything of that nature. But it's fairly easy. We have like a student job page where you could look and see who's looking for workers, whether you have a work study or if they're just looking for anyone. So, and it happens every semester, so you'll definitely see new jobs pop up each time.
And then for myself, I work as a student ambassador here on campus. So let's say I work Thursday, I work from 9 to 11,
and then I have a class at 1 o'clock. I go through that, have some time in between so I can have lunch or something like that. And after that class ends at 2:05, again work again at 3, so where I work from 3 to 4. And then after that, I just go on and do my schoolwork, anything that I have to do, really get done after that time. So this really allows me to stay on campus from the morning until like mid-evening to night, even sometimes, depending really on how much course loads I have, more or less. So it's very flexible in a sense. I have kind of I have my work schedule around my school schedule, more or less.
My day in the life, I'm not going to go into that because it's kind of crazy. As a former music ed human and music human, there's just way too many classes and too many things. So your day is a little hectic. But if you are one of those people that has to take a lot of classes or your days are typically full, I actually have 3 jobs on campus. So I work as a peer educator for the Office of Student Affairs. I work as a student ambassador, like these lovely humans, and I work at the information desk in the Frick Center, and they're all very accommodating to my schedule. So I work weekends and at the information desk. As a peer educator, I do work on my own, and I meet with my boss once a week for a couple hours. And then student ambassador, I work on Fridays in between a little chunk of time that I have. So it's honestly, these humans, your bosses, are very flexible. They understand because some of them were literally like in your shoes. And they want you to work for them because it makes their lives easier, it makes everyone's lives easier. You get some cash, all that kind of stuff. Last thing I want to mention is that you do not, for some of the jobs, a lot of them you do have to have work study. That's a requirement for many jobs on campus. But some of them you don't. So my peer educator job, because it's through a grant that the school applied for, it doesn't have to be work study. So sometimes there's a few of those. So if you don't have work study, look for the ones that don't require that because that's a possibility as well.
I do suggest looking at the job postings, like once you're committed to the school and you're applied and you're committed, like the summer beforehand. That's how I got my job for my freshman year. It's on your student portal. You'll be able to see it, but I suggest looking at that before you come to campus because everybody wants jobs on campus, but just wanted to mention that.
It's a good place to work.
I'm sorry. And one more thing. I actually got my job July before even starting school, like as a freshman, just because I was on top of knowing I wanted to work on campus. It's very much accessible, and they understand you're a student first, so they're never going to make you come to work if you have a test to study for it, or whatever it is. So totally take advantage of all that.
Typically, July 1st is when departments will put it up, just in case any of you are like writing down already. And I work in student affairs. We love student workers, so please, you can come work for me. Okay, maybe one more question, and then I have one for the panel if you don't, because I think it's a good one to end on to ask.
To all of you, how would you say like going to school so close to Chicago has affected like your college career, job opportunities? Like it's a big city, so how has that been beneficial or like negative in any way?
Great question.
So being a theater major and wanting, but kind of like when I was a freshman wanting to pursue musical theater, the fact that Chicago is so close to Elmhurst and it's also like a decent theater hub there too, that's kind of the main reason that I chose to come here. Was because it's literally a 45-minute train ride away. But I just enjoy going to the city sometimes, like for a weekend trip just to get away from campus. I saw a couple shows there, or when my family comes to visit, we'll always go to the city just to walk around or like grab some good food or anything like that. So I don't know, it reminds me of my hometown because we were like small suburb, but then you take a train into the big city. So that's kind of the main reason that I like it here.
Also, what's nice about Chicago being so close is, for example, the honors program. When they host their events, they host some of them in Chicago, and they get you free tickets to see the Opera House for one of their performances. So, like, the honors program does a lot in Chicago. Like, they take you to events and stuff. So does Union Board. They take you to, for example, I think just a week ago, they took a bunch of kids to the Bull Center.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the Bulls game?
Bulls game, yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot that the campus does, and oftentimes there's so many events going on. Sometimes you can't catch them all because there's so much going on at once. So definitely keep an eye out for those if you plan to come here. And also, what's really nice too is, like, speaking from the health perspective, like for becoming a physician and et cetera, they have a lot of internship opportunities with working with Aurora Healthcare, Rush University. So, like, there are definitely internship opportunities there in Chicago. And the plus side is you can just go on the train. The train station's just here, like 10-minute walk. So you could really, it's very accessible if you need to work in the city or you have an internship. It's wonderful.
Okay. So I'm going to leave you on one question. And if each of you want to answer it, what is your best recommendation or advice that you can give to these students specifically on making the transition from high school to hopefully a future Blue Jay?
My best advice, I am a little biased, but it is to go to orientation. I'm an orientation student leader, so obviously I'm biased, but I went every single day with my roommate, and we instantly fell in love with Elmhurst. We were thriving probably more than we should have, and we just had so many good memories. And if it wasn't for orientation, I wouldn't have felt, well, for starters, you get put in a group of students that you have a class with, so that's already a plus. Like, you want to get to know your classmates before school starts. And orientation is fun because only new students are on campus during that time. So you really can take advantage of learning campus before all the other students come. So once first day of school starts, you feel more, more familiar with everything. So totally take advantage and go to orientation. You will not regret it.
Please pick one organization that you want to be a part of on campus. I'm going to be biased and tell you, because you're first generation students, you should join the Blue Jay First Club, which is the first generation club on campus. We do fun social events, we do guest speakers and things that will help you throughout your 4 years at college. So keep that in mind if you become a Blue Jay.
I did some research before before coming, and the average of people who dropped out of college within the past couple years was 33%. Out of all of those students, 86% of them were first generation low income students. And I'm telling you this for a reason. You should not give up, okay? Especially at Elmhurst. Coming to Elmhurst gives you a variety of resources. Look at all of us. We're still here. A lot of us are seniors, and we didn't give up. And that's what you should never give up, because there are just so many options for you. If it's finances, we have a great team. If it's social things, there's so many options. Educationally, academics, there's so many resources in order to help you. It's actually kind of annoying. There are so many resources here at Elmhurst. Annoying in a loving way. Don't fire me. But
Never.
Yes, it's just, there's every possibility. What you do, life is what you make of it. Especially, we hear that a lot, but it's so true. If you give up, that's on you. Never come to a situation without putting your best effort and without finding out what resources are there for you. Because, listen, this place is really, really great, and they won't let you fail. So just let them help you. Go seek them out. There's literally hundreds of them, and they'll help you every step of the way. Okay?
Probably got more.
Okay, so I feel like the biggest thing that I would say, I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but don't be afraid to just dive in head first. I feel like when I came here, being 12 hours away from home, I was just really scared. I was really homesick. And I think that I actually missed out on a couple orientation events because I was just sitting in my dorm, and I was just upset and sad that I was far away from home, but I would definitely, I know you guys are probably from around here, but I would just tell you guys, like, don't think that orientation is lame or like stupid or you're too cool for it. Like, don't think that like clubs are like dorky or like nerdy or anything like that. Like, don't be afraid to just like do what you love and that you want to do. And I think that you will get the most out of your time here if you just, I don't know, just dive in head first. Yeah.
I think as we're wrapping up here, the last thing I would add that I always see is call home. You got a lot of people that love you and a lot of people that support you, and they want to hear from you because hopefully you're so busy and all the things being an Elmhurst Blue Jay encompasses that you may forget. And so just don't forget to call home, wherever home may be and whoever home is to you, that they're rooting for you and love you and are excited to hear everything. So do that on occasion. So with that, being mindful of time, because we got some big stuff coming up, can we please give this fantastic group of students a round of applause? Thank you so much. It's been wonderful being here with all of you. I can't wait to hopefully see you here more, and especially during orientation. I'm biased because that's my area. But just thank you. So proud of all of you. Congratulations. And then I think we will be departing, and then Dr. Tim Riccardotti, the Vice President of Admission, will be coming up, and with our President, Dr. Troy Van Aken, getting the next steps of the program going in a minute or two. Yep. Thank you.
I got to remember to talk into the mic because we're live streaming, and as some of you might realize, I don't usually use a mic. Good afternoon. One more time, please. Good afternoon. There you go. My name is Tim Riccardotti. I'm Vice President of Admission, and I don't know if you realize this, but probably not every day when the alarm goes off do you spring out of bed and go, yes, I get to go to work today. It doesn't happen every day. It happens every President's Day. This absolutely is a highlight of my time with Elmhurst University. You see this tie? It represents our belief in the American dream, that we are one of the few countries in the world that people can move intergenerational among the socioeconomic levels. And it is because of our access and our opportunity in education. And whatever small success I've had, personally and professionally, it absolutely, well, I married up, and so that's probably the reason. But other than that, it's because I had access to education. And that's what this day is about. And so congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to continuing this program. But I'm really looking forward to introducing Dr. Troy Van Aken, the 14th president of Elmhurst University.
I'm going to move around just a little bit, but I won't get out of the way for those in live stream, and I won't get close enough to spread COVID, even though I've had my booster shots and take regular COVID tests. I teased a little bit earlier today, I was going to tell you a little bit about my story. Not that any of it's about me, it's really about you today, but I hate to admit it, but Dr. Riccardotti and I share a lot more in common than I would care to admit, as opposed to not just being two big white guys, but our lives have been transformed by the power of educational opportunities. And so I'm going to talk a little quick right now, just because I'm going to talk about myself, but I just want you to have a little bit of a background on where I'm coming from, because I'm going to encourage you to do something. I was given up as a baby. A family adopted me, a wonderful family. The only challenge was we were real poor. I grew up on a farm in southern Michigan. In fact, as I woke up when I was 16 years old, and my father, I found out he was declaring bankruptcy. We were in farming, and it wasn't a good time to be in farming in the late 70s. I remember looking in the mirror and saying to myself, whatever you're going to make of your life, you're going to make of it. You're going to have to do this yourself. God gave me a healthy body, a healthy mind, and that provided opportunities, and I was privileged in that regard. But I didn't want to be a burden on my family. I didn't want to be a burden on my sisters, who maybe needed a little more of my parents' help, whatever they could offer at the time. They were adopted as well. And I went to college. I had a great experience. Received a lot of financial support, just like you're going to receive. We're going to be very generous with financial aid. And I know you're wanting the full tuition scholarship, and I'm excited for the person I get to shake their hand that gets that. But even if you don't, we're going to be generous with scholarship, and we live in a country where there is aid available to help you along your journey. Just like Dr. Riccardotti, I married well above myself. I may have set the record. And if you come here, you'll get to meet my wife, Dr. Annette Van Aken, because she's very active here on campus too, and we get to know the students here. And the reason is she's a first-generation college graduate. As I hinted this morning, her grandmother was born in Cuba, and if you know anything about Cuba, it is not a land of opportunity. There aren't a lot of dreams in Cuba. The fact is, we're working right now to recruit a couple students from Cuba. It's a hard thing to do to get them here, to give them a little bit of the American dream. But we both had the power of education, and what I want to believe is that not only when I went to college or university did I represent myself, I represented my grandparents and my parents who had toiled and struggled and had these dreams for us. And they were uplifted by the opportunity of education that I was able to receive. Likewise, I have two children. My son graduated from here in 2019. Probably one of my proudest days was being able to shake his hand as he got his diploma. He's in med school now. My daughter is also in med school right now, and I believe that their lives were enhanced by my wife and I living the American dream. And I'm hopeful that their children, we don't want them right away, but in a few years, my grandchildren will benefit from the opportunities that we had. And so people I don't even know to this day invested in my education through scholarships and endowments and otherwise, and you have that same opportunity. So enough about me. Whatever you do, take advantage of this opportunity. You have potential, you have gifts, you've had certain privileges. I'm sure you've had challenges. I'm sure you've had obstacles that you've had to overcome, but those have also taught you to persevere. And so we want to think that all of you are going to come to Elmhurst University because you just had such a fantastic day today, or your recruitment process. That may not work for all of you, and if it's not the right fit for you, I encourage you not to come, as painful as it is for me to say that. But what I will tell you is pursue your dreams. Pursue education. This is 1986, when this guy I had a chance to go to college. And in this day and age, you need education to have access to some of the dreams and aspirations that you and others have. And so whatever you do, continue to pursue those dreams. And once again, we hope that they play out here. But if they don't, let us know. I will tell you that myself, my wife, Dr. Riccardotti, the fantastic admissions staff, if there's another institution that you think is a better fit for you, but you have questions, we're here to help you pursue that as well. Because we really do believe in the individual and their accomplishments, moving them forward. So with that in mind, I'll end my bit of conversation and turn it over to a man who has a voice that I dream I had. He's got the American dream voice today. Tim Altberg, one of our fantastic admissions counselors, and involved in a lot of amazing things here on campus.
Thank you, Troy. All right, good afternoon. This is the part where you're going to stand and be recognized. So I've practiced really hard this morning, a little bit on Friday, and tried to ask each of you as you came into the room how to say your name. So I hope I do it correctly. If I don't, I'm really sorry. But when I do say your name, please stand and be recognized. If you're home and you're watching this on the stream, your family around you can clap. All right, are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Ray Abduliva, Norberto Acosta, Julia Aguirre, Brian Alvarado, Wayne Anderson, Vanyi Anderson, Ravleen Aurora, Aliana Oridondo, Ninel Benitez, Jimena Bermudez, Ani Bibian, Maddie Valencia, Sebastian Blackett, Jose Blanco, Ani Borrego, Angie Bratsis, Tristan Calvillo, John Campbell, Gianna Cangliosi, Charlize Cardenas, Nicole Cardona, Laura Castaneda, Myra Avilles, Stephanie Chavez, Ana Cordova, Caden Cornell, Carissa Cox, Isabel Cueto, Sanye Current, Erica Del Rio, Emily Diveria, Azucena Diaz, Jair Diaz, Madison Edge, Ella Enders, Juliana Espinoza, Edson Estrada, Becca Farajardo, Cassidy Fanilla, Joyce Fang, Chris Flores, Alejandra Galvin, Elizabeth Garcia, Espida Garcia, Jimena Garcia, Isabella Marulanda, Leslie Godoy, Mateo Gomez, Natalia Gonzalez, Maxwell Goshi, Italibi Granados, Madison Hagerman, Isabella Hernandez, Juliana Hernandez, Zinai Hernandez, Marisol Hernandez, Jonathan Hilario, Amaria Hunt, Mariam Husayani, Olivia Jaberkowski, Fatima Jimenez, Matthew Corin, Gabriela Laudonado, Ville, Annabella Leith, Ella Leone, Sam Lizama, Isaiah Look, Selena Lopez, Alejandro Lopez, Josie Lucio, Axel Mañana, Celia Magana, Natalia Maniac, Eliza Martinez, Hannah Martinez, Ryan McGinley, Aram Mehira, Tony Mena, David Macardo, Ariana Miramontes, Zeal Modi, Adriana Murphy, Erica Mirda, Eric Najira, Angelo Nicholson, Esther Oguwunsi, Joe Olvera, Ariadna Hernandez, Fatima Ortiz, Jackie Palacios, Marco Pantelio, Aaron Paz Castillion, Jonathan Perez, David Peters, May Few, Sarah Pop, Rhonda Katanani, Amar Rajput, Raim Ramani, Jacqueline Ramirez, Leilani Roman, Raziel Salamanca, Navira Salman, Logan Samanigo, Indra Samano, Brianna Sanchez, Nick Sanchez, Jose Lorenzo Santos, Anmol Singh, Jocelyn Solis, Ethan Soltis, Cheyenne Stella, Danielle Stork, Shania Sudowitz, Chris Tahita, Akira Thompson, Edgar Tusunyan, Gus Tosturud, Paul Tron, Joshua Toonstill, Valeria Uribe. You clap through all of them. Congratulations to all the American Dream winners. Bring it up, bring it up. Each and every one of you will be awarded $1,000 just for participating. And now I'd like to bring out Dr. Tim Riccardotti on stage to figure out who won.
How about a round of applause for Tim reading all the names? Huh, that's pretty impressive, just, and know that if I call your name, there's a good chance I'll mess it up. But before we get started, let's make sure we silence our phones, because, you know, that's kind of not appropriate to take a... Oh. Amuse yourselves. Hello, Tim Riccardotti. The results are in? Yes. Bring them down. There's a problem. You gave me 3 envelopes. There's only supposed to be 2 winners.
Yeah, well, I heard that the group projects were really, really good today. So I kind of added an extra award for the winning group. So any members of that winning group earn a $3,000 scholarship today.
Wait, did you check with him?
It's all okay. It's all okay, right? It's good.
Okay, good job, Michelle. Well, I guess we have 3 different awards today. Wow. So, the group award, it's actually one of the virtual groups. Okay. Now we had, what did we have? 4 virtual groups. I wonder which one it is. It actually is group number 20. Antonio Mena, Itelba Granados, Aaron Paz Castellan, Dwayne Anderson, and Joyce Fang. Congratulations. And your certificates, along with the scholarship, we will send that to you. Congratulations. Good job. I really do hope you checked with him about this. Okay. The winner of the American Dream Fellowship room and board stipend is Tristan Caviello. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up, Dad. It's not like you're not proud of him, huh? Good job. Yeah, Dad isn't proud, huh? What do you think? All right. The moment you've all been waiting for. The winner of the 2022 American Dream Fellowship Full Tuition Scholarship is
In preschool, I owned one pair of jeans with Disney princesses embroidered on them. This never bothered me. I loved those jeans because I knew that my mom had carefully picked them out for me. When my brother and I would accompany my mom to work, she would ask the homeowners to lend us their toys while she would scrub down the bathrooms. When she babysat kids, she would make sure that we all became friends so that her job would not be so stressful on us. My mom wanted nothing but happiness for us, and sculpting our reality with what she had was the best way to achieve that. Although my parents did their best to support us, they found it difficult to help us academically. They did not know what the Treaty of Versailles was, or why lattice division was better than long division, or how to find the central theme of To Kill a Mockingbird. My parents knew that they loved us and constantly found different ways to express it to make up for what they didn't know academically. Even so, I felt alone in school. My friends did not have parents that only spoke Spanish. Their parents weren't divorced. Their mothers weren't stressed for years trying to file for their citizenship. Their dads did not have to work 3 different jobs. They never had to think about whether or not they would live better lives than their parents. My brother and I were alone, and as first-generation students, it was the expectation to live better lives than our parents, without the hard jobs that immigrants have had to endure. My parents came to the United States with a plan to work and to provide for their families, with the promise that future generations would not have to clean large, empty houses or work in factories like them to pay for utility bills. That was their American dream. When my mom found out that I was accepted into Elmhurst University, she broke down crying and held me in her arms. She immediately took pictures of my acceptance box and sent it to her siblings with an unwavering smile. It was then that I knew that I had chosen the right school and that my family would support me no matter what. I will not be alone here. I love the school more and more every time I step inside the campus. Everyone has always been so welcoming and kind, from the students to the faculty. Even just hearing about the American Dream competition makes me feel so safe and appreciated, because I know that there will always be so many first-generation students here that share the same experiences as me. I was accepted into several schools, but no other school is as close to my heart, or quite literally as close to my home, as Elmhurst is. With Elmhurst being so close to my parents, I will always be available if they need me, and that brings me so much reassurance. I am so proud to be able to major in psychology, one of the most popular majors at Elmhurst, so that I can soon give back to the community that has helped me so much. That is my American dream, to use the knowledge that I will acquire at Elmhurst and help the people around me, to make my parents' dreams of better lives come true, and most importantly, to act as a role model for my little brother and my younger cousins and show them that higher education is truly possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Alexandra Galvin. All right, come on up, come on up. You might be a little proud of her, that's okay. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Remember, you're all winners here. And if you'd like to pick up your certificate that's in room 007, 007 is nearest this exit right here, or you can go down there, there, or there, but the room is right down here. So go pick up your certificate, and we look forward to seeing you on campus again soon. Open house is coming up April 23rd. School starts in August. See you then.